Hello. Okay. Let me tell y'all a little funny joke, okay? Victoria and I have been sitting in here talking to each other now for about 3 minutes, telling y'all I told y'all a whole story about Easter. Victoria and have done some rose-colored glasses with my story, y'all. Guess what? I looked at the screen. It said, Facebook will not let you go live after 10 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute, live? Oops, I forgot to hit go live. Okay. And Victoria, take two. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Victoria and I are finally here with you, and we are so happy to be here today. I tell you, this is so funny. Victoria is a friend of mine, and she is a mother of three, and one of them just happens to be on the spectrum. And we were having a little conversation because Victoria is the CEO of Rose Colored Glasses. Y'all, my friend can find the rose color of anything, anything at all. She just finished telling me, I was telling her about her little disrespectful niece, Amory, who I had put all her Easter stuff out, and it was so cute, y'all. I took a picture. It was just so precious. And she comes in the living room and dining room, and she looks at that table full of stuff, and there's some Easter eggs on the table. And she picks them up one by one and drops them to the floor until all the eggs are off the table. And then she sits down at the table like, okay, where's my food? Just disrespectful, y'all. And Victoria, what did you say about that?
Doing a science experiment, cause and effect.
Yeah, a science experiment. This girl is dropping Easter eggs all over my floor. It's a science experiment. Okay, we're gonna go with that. We're
And
gonna let
she
that slide.
enjoyed it. That's why she kept doing it. She enjoyed it.
Why didn't she enjoy picking them back up?
That wasn't part of their science experiment.
Okay. Well, hello, Dina. How you doing? It's good to see you today. Victoria, would you tell me a little bit about your angel?
um, my daughter Aaliyah is 13 right now, so we're going through the teen thing. You know, a little bit of sass, but you know what? It's all right now because that shows me that she's being a teen. My daughter was born at 27 weeks. So she was 1 pound, 10 ounces at birth. Um, Her first diagnosis was developmental delays because she was so early. Um, just a lot of things going on. You know, we did early intervention, the whole nine. She came home on oxygen. She was on oxygen for, I think, 5 weeks or something, right after leaving the hospital. Um, but then we got the diagnosis of autism at about 2 years, 9 months.
Hmm. Wow. You know, 2 years, that's actually kind of early for me. I didn't get Amory's until she was 3 years old. And I know I went stone bonkers. I lost my life really. And I didn't really know what to do with it, even though I was an educator. I was still, you would have thought that I would have been able to take this in stride. But as an educator, I took it in fear. How did you feel about your daughter's diagnosis?
Well, at first, I want to say because we were dealing with a lot of other diagnoses with her, well, the developmental delays and all her struggles that she was going through. But I mean, she did amazing. So this was just another hurdle for me. I think because my prior experience having a child care service and working with kids with special needs, having the opportunity to work with early Head Start and looking for milestones and when they should be achieving them on a regular kind of helped me to notice that and kind of just dive right in.
So you were okay?
I want to say not elated, but I know that I couldn't let, I want to say, time go by worrying about what I did wrong, what I couldn't do, what is it going to be like. How about let's jump in, take action, and we'll see how things go. Because to me, sitting around worrying about all those things is just wasting time. The clock is ticking. I need to help my baby.
Wow, that's just, ooh, it's remarkable to me because I didn't do that. You would have thought that I would have been a little bit more stable than I was, but I fought it for so long. And I was a sixth through eighth grade English language arts teacher, so I didn't deal with the little ones. I didn't realize that Amory was delayed in all this stuff. I just thought she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to comb a doll's hair. That's fine with me. I didn't care. She didn't want to pretend play. And I was like, why would I pretend play? There were so many things I didn't know about being an older kid teacher that I think if possibly if I had been in the pre-K and kindergarten stages, I would have paid more attention to she should be doing this by this age and this by this age and this by this age. And really the only thing I noticed that she wasn't doing was talking. And
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think that's for a lot of people. But I think what kind of gave me the kickstart as well, uh, prior to Aaliyah being born, I was talking to a friend of mine, and for some reason, we happened to get on the topic of autism. And at that time, I didn't know anything about autism myself. So, of course, Dr. Google just kind of Googled everything about it, and I knew some basics, kind of like a lot of people do. Um, but some of those basics, when Aaliyah had her diagnosis, didn't apply to her.
mhm,
So she's kind of that kid that's in the middle. Autism is they call it a spectrum. They kind of got rid of the different labels. Some people still use them, Asperger's and stuff like that. So Aaliyah is that kid that's in the middle. So if we were going by those labels, she is PDD-NOS.
okay,
So Aaliyah was verbal. You know, Aaliyah didn't line things up. So the things that stuck out for me was the echolalia talk, which if
okay.
some don't know, that's like a parrot talk. They kind of just repeat everything you say.
Mhm,
So if you ask a question, she would just ask a question back. Um, she did do some stemming, which was flapping, like she would flap her arms like a bird. Thing now her stemming is she'll kind of take her fingers and twirl her.
okay.
Um, but yeah, the echolalia stood out the most. And so that made me say, you know what? Let's take her in. I think this is autism.
Mm. And see, that was a blessing for you because I wasn't even able to do that. I was like, oh, okay. The only thing that got me was she wasn't talking, and when she didn't talk at 2, the pediatrician said we need to get her checked, and I was like, okay, maybe she's just a late talker. Everybody doesn't talk at every age, and when I got the diagnosis, I was like, really? Because the only children I had seen were severe. And
Mm-hmm.
I was terrified of what the future would hold for my child. And this being my only child, it was like my entire world just dissipated in front of my face. And I look at other children now and I see this broad spectrum that you talk about. So I'm seeing different children able to do different things, and I'm seeing Amory try to do things that other kids are doing. And it makes me feel a little bit better about the life situation at hand. But what is your dream for Leah? What do you what do you wish the most for her in her future life?
Um, I think, like a lot of parents, some of the things that we want for our kids with autism are real simple, and that parents that have neurotypical kids kind of take for granted. Um, just having friends, being accepted. Um, for her, when in the beginning, I would tell people she would have autism. They would kind of give me the look, and they would say, "Oh, like Rain Man." No, everybody's not like Rain Man. Um, so they either think Rain Man or they think the real severe kids, and Aaliyah is neither. So when they see Aaliyah in action, it's like she doesn't look like she has autism.
Mhm.
Well, autism doesn't have a face. It looks different in every kid. Looks different in every person. Um, just to be accepted, be able to do some of the things that her peers are able to do, and to be independent as much as possible.
Yeah, you talk about friends, and that's something that I pray for every day for Amy, because she's just now beginning to act like she's interested in other people. And Amory is my size and 9 years old and as tall as I am. So her peers are short little individuals who look like munchkins under her. So I'm
Really.
afraid if she gets physical with them in playing, that she may even hurt them without trying. So I have this fear of somebody else's child being hurt by my child.
Hmm.
And it's a strange feeling because you want to go, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle this? How am I going to handle her? As autism parents, we have so many things that are going through our minds every single day about our child and about our child's safety, that I don't think neurotypical parents have to deal with and have to think about it. Sometimes I think that neurotypical people don't take it to account that this person is having to live on another level. I remember one of my friends saying they were in her daughter was in dance class, and she has a son who's on the spectrum, and in the dance class the moms were talking about what color bows are we going to put in the children's hair, and what this the way, and she said, is that all y'all have to think about? Is that all y'all have to talk about? What is your life that it's this simple? And I feel that way now because in trying to build my business and trying to be a good mom, I'm having to tackle this because, like I told you earlier, I had to lock my door to keep Aim from coming in while I'm trying to talk to you. And she's out there now not understanding why she can't get in. I want her to be at peace. I want her to be happy. But I know there are certain things that I have to do to ensure that that is the case for her. And I think that's where we differ with the neurotypical parents of these children. How do we reach parents who, like us, get their diagnosis and feel alone? What is it that you want to say to them? Because it was something inside you that made you say, you know what? Okay, she got diagnosed with autism. What do I do next? As
Uh,
compared to me, who said she got this diagnosis of autism. What in the world is going to happen? What do you have to say to that parent that just got a diagnosis maybe last week and is feeling alone and stressed and overwhelmed?
It's okay. You're not alone. Um, I will say people process things differently. So I kind of look at it as when we have children or we're getting ready to bring a child in the world, we have an idea of how this child is going to be, especially with our girls. We can't wait till that real live baby doll comes in the world and comb her hair and put all these pretty clothes on her and put all these bows in her hair, and just walk around like this proud mama because we got this beautiful little girl. And our hopes and dreams for her is to, you know, be this great student, go to college and, you know, be whatever she wants to be. Of course, we might want her to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever. So we can then again, hold our head up high and stick our chest out because we're so proud of this girl that we brought in the world. And then we get the diagnosis of autism, and it's kind of like, oh, it's almost like the death of your idea of a child. But it's not the end. It's just different. I want parents to know that it's not the end of the world. It's just different. You got to plan different. You know, Not to say your kid may not be able to go to college. Yes, they can. It's just different. You know, your kids may not be able to learn different things. Yes, they can. It's just different. They might need to add more steps into it, but they can learn it. You might have to be a little more patient, but they can learn it. It's not the end of the world. There are other parents out there that are exactly like you. And all I can say is find a tribe and just dive in. Your tribe will help you more than you would imagine. And it's a wonderful thing to have a tribe of women and or men, whichever the case may be, that are in the same situation as you and that can help you on this journey.
Wow, that is amazing and that's so true. We need to remember that tribes are out there. And we found a tribe, and that's actually what we are, is we're part of a tribe. And we have recently started working to produce things that will help people on the tribe and in our tribe. Um, what have you produced to help people along their journey through this in challenging lives?
I'm currently the CEO of Rose Colored Glasses. Uh, their organization is to help moms find resources to help their kids with autism. I'm also the author of Learn to Love You. It's a 90-day self-care journal. A lot of times, parents like me and you, Delasper, we cannot find the time to just love on ourselves or do self-care because we're too busy trying to get to the end of the day, especially with COVID now, trying to do online school, trying to work, making sure our kiddos have these appointments because they have more appointments than the law allow, and doing the regular things as a wife, trying to cook, clean, you know, everything. And I think it's 10 o'clock and you say, whew, I
Exactly.
made it. Close your eyes. It's it's morning again real quick. So I created that book to help moms kind of find time for themselves and what it's like because we we're so busy thinking about our kids and our families and things like that. We forget what self-care is.
Exactly.
And we forget how to apply it. So that was my
Exactly.
reason for creating a book.
Well, I am so very excited to have the book. I have hidden it from my child, so I can't put my hands on it right now. But it means a lot to me because, like you say, I didn't ever think about myself. It was always Amory, 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 and my life revolved around her. So I do know the seriousness of putting yourself first for just a few moments. And I try to do that now every other day. I know I don't get it every day, but I try to do it at least every other day to just spend a little time with the Lasper and not worry about all that other stuff in the background. But Victoria, it has been great talking to you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being my friend, my confidant, my sister, and my tribe member. You guys, thank you for joining us. We are here if you need us. You can find Victoria at rosecoloredglasses.us. The site is there listed for you. You can find me at amory'sjourney.info. We love you. We hope you have a wonderful day and be blessed on this journey. Remember, you
Thank
were created of greatness, for greatness, and by greatness. Now be great. Victoria, you have anything else you want to tell them?
I just want to thank you for having me on. And like I said, parents, you are not alone. Reach out. There are so many resources. You just have to find them. And if you need help finding them, reach out to me on Rose Colored Glasses. I help you find them. Thank you so much, Delasper, for having me on. And thank you for being a friend, a tribe member, and a sis. So thank you so much.
Love you. See y'all
Love you.
later.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you guys for joining us.